Hi, this is Julie with Beadaholique, and today I'm going to show you how to decrease a square stitch in bead weaving. I have a little sample here that I've done. Don't worry about where my threads are coming out. I actually wove them back in so you can see the top part a little more clearly, which we're focusing on. So here I've done square beads in a square stitch, and I've decreased as I went up. And what the important part about this is if you look from the top down, you don't want to see any thread bridges. You don't want to see threads coming from here to here or over the top. You want it to be nice and smooth. You only want your threads to be coming out of the side and going to the bead below. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So I've threaded onto my needle some Wildfire thread, and I'm going to place a stopper bead on the end. So really easy to do, just a contrasting bead of some sort. And you just tie it with a simple overhand knot. You're just trapping it. You want to be able to undo this later, down at the bottom. And you want to leave a tail long enough to put a needle onto and be able to thread a needle onto and work back into your beadwork when you tie it off. Now we do have a video already showing how to do the square stitch. I'm going to really quickly show you how to do it again just because you need to know how to do it before you can go ahead and do the decreases. So I'm going to start by putting 7 beads onto my needle. And of course it doesn't have to be 7, it could be whatever you want for your project. It is a little bit better if you're doing decreases, if you want it to be even, like a pyramid shape, to use an odd number of beads. So there's my 7 beads, and that constitutes, for me, my first row. So to make my second row, I'm going to take 1 bead, and I'm going to go back through the last bead on the first row, and you see how that creates a little loop, and look what happens. And it just has it sit right on top there. So now I'm going to go back through that bead, and I'm going to string on another bead. So on this one, I'm going to go back through the next bead, which is on that first row. And now I'm going to go up again through the bead I just strung. And as you go, work on your tension. Make sure you pull your threads tight. So I'm just going to keep doing that. So I'm going to go ahead, add a bead, go back through what is the third bead on the first row. So basically the bead that's going to be below the one that you are stringing on the second row is what you're going to go through. And just pull it. And this will look a little wobbly to begin with. When you get more rows on there, it's going to straighten out, but the first couple rows always do look a little bit wobbly. So another one on my second row. There we go. And you see I'm just going up again through that bead that was just strung. So basically you're hiding your thread bridges is what you're doing. If you already know how to do square stitch, you can fast forward through this until we get to the part where I show you how to do the decreases. And you really do need a base row like this. You need these 2 base rows so that you have something to work with when you do your decreases. You'll see in a moment why. Because we're going to be hiding our threads as we go, just so that we get that nice smooth top-down view. All right, this is my last bead. So there we go. I'm a little bit away from my stopper, so I'm just going to pull it down just so it keeps all my beads in place. All right, so we have got 2 rows of classic square stitch. So now our problem is we want to create the next row and we want to decrease it, so we want that bead to live right there. But if we were to just go ahead and add it like here, what's going to happen is 1, you're going to have a gap, but 2, you're going to have that ugly thread bridge right there, and that's not going to look good from the top down or the side. So we don't want to do that. What we need to do is we need to change the direction of our thread. To do that, you have 2 choices. You can loop back through the first bead in our bottom row, and this is why you need those 2 rows. you can come up through the second bead, and then you're going to go through the second bead on the second row, and then you're just going to come up right through it, so you're not going to go all the way. And now we've got our thread right where we want it. So that's one option. The other option is, remember our thread was in this position right here, and we couldn't go like that? You can actually do a reinforcement row where you're going to go through the first one, you're going to go through the second one, but you're not going to come out. You're going to go through all of your bottom row till you end up at the outside. And then you're going to go through all the beads on the second row until you get to the bead that you want to come out of. And now you're ready to go up. So it's entirely up to you. Both work really well, and it's just a preference. So now we're ready to do our first decrease. So we're going to take our bead, which will be the first bead of the third row, and we're just going to square stitch like normal because now our thread's in the right position. So now I'm just going to, got that bead on there. It's going to loop around. Now I'm going to go up through it again. Whoops. And pull, and now I'm just going to add another bead just like this was a regular row because it is. I'm just going to keep adding beads until I get to the spot where I want, which is going to be a decrease on the other side. But I'm not going to really have to do anything special for it, which is nice. All right, so one more bead and that'll be my last bead. So I get a nice even pyramid shape. This would be really good if you were doing chevron designs as well. All right, so, okay, there's that bead. Now we're going to go through it. All right, that row is complete. So now we have the same problem if we want to decrease again, and I'm going to actually flip my beadwork because I like working from right to left because I'm right-handed. So again, I don't want to just go like this. I want to get my thread back in the right position. So I'm going to go down through this bead here, and I want to do the reinforcement row. So instead of going all the way to the end like so, I'm going to come out one bead prior, pull, and now I'm going to go up through my third row all the way to the point where I want to start the next row. And now I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to add one bead, and now it's just square stitch as normal. One more bead and that'll complete that row, and then we'll do one more for the top, the pinnacle, and that should do it. Okay, one more time, we just have to make sure our thread's in the right position. So we're going to go down here, go through all of those, come up to the one next to the end so that we can loop through, and I'm going to go through the first one, go through the second, but I don't want to go all the way through the third because I need my thread in this position here. And then I'm going to flip it, so I'm doing it left to right for me, but if you're comfortable working in both directions, that's totally fine. So the final bead, just, there we go. And there you are. So at this point, all your beads are attached. You've got this nice decrease. You'll see we have no thread bridges from the top down view. And you would just, at this point, work your thread back into your beadwork and tie it off. We actually have a whole video showing you how to tie off and add new threads into bead weaving on Beadaholique.com. But this video here is complete, and that is how you do a square stitch with decreases.